Shalom, Akim. Shalom, shalom. This is your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, coming with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord willing, this be edifying to the Lord's elect. And before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, V'chahakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith, and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. You Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations, but your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. I want to say peace and blessings to you all. Barakatham. All right. So let me get this started in the book of Proverbs, chapter 11 and verse 2. It reads, "When pride cometh, then cometh shame. But with the lowly is wisdom." All right. With pride cometh shame. It feels like, as I reflect, what I'm saying? And this ain't going to be long. It's just a quick lesson that I wanted to get into before I head out to camp. But, in reflection, it really does feel like years just happened, within the span of just 7 days. You know what I'm saying? We are now in the midst of a full-blown war, all right, that can only get worse from this point forward, man. We got trillions of dollars, trillions of dollars of taxpayer money, by the way, of taxpayer money. Trillions of dollars worth of military hardware and munitions that have gone up in smoke. Hundreds of lives were lost. You know what I'm saying? So much so that the media narrative of being merely a handful can no longer be believed at this point. Nobody believes that there was only just 5 or 6 casualties. Nobody believes that. Nobody. Every military base in the whole region has been devastated beyond workable operation. You see what I'm saying? And the excuses, pretty much, all the excuses from the White House, they can't be maintained for more than 24 hours, before changing yet again, man. The narrative just continues to shift. And it shifts and it shifts and it shifts. You know what I'm saying? And the people are getting tired of it, man. To put it in plain terms, these 7 days, you know what I'm saying? This week has been nothing short of humiliating, disastrous, and devastating. You know what I'm saying? Humiliating because this is America. You know what I'm saying? This is America. This is the greatest military force in the whole world, and this nigga still spouts that shit on Truth Social. You know what I'm saying? This is humiliating because while the world is looking at the truth over here in America, these jokers just continue to lie and say, "Oh no, we're winning the war. We're winning. We're winning. We got them by the ropes." You know what I'm saying? Get ready to pop the champagne. No, this is humiliating. It's disastrous. And it's devastating. It's devastating their reputation. And I always wondered throughout the years, how it would happen. You know what I'm saying? How would all these nations turn against the whore? How would all these nations turn against Babylon the Great? You see what I'm saying? How? What would it be that would spark them to turn, to turn their backs on America? You know what I'm saying? From the NATO alliance to uh, to their allies in the Middle East, so called, and we're seeing it. We're seeing it all happening now. you know, so the videos and reportings that I'm about to share, all right, gives a clear picture of how truly untenable and unsustainable this conflict is, all right, for Nero and the rest of and the West. You know what I'm saying? The collective West as a whole, man. All right. Matter of fact, let's get Jeremiah chapter 47. Excuse me, Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 7. All right. It reads, concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? You see? Where's the wisdom at? Where's where's the prudence? You see? All of this is being done without the approval of Congress and all that garbage, you know what I'm saying? Because let's just be honest. And what you're about to hear here, what you're about to hear in this video here, the people are understanding that that there will be no legal repercussions. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all complicit. They're all complicit in this. All right. So let's listen to this video to get it started. Bear with me.
Let's take this back. He wants this war. Absolutely no one thinks that this is a good idea. And the reason why they don't want it is because they know what it's actually about.
Right.
This is a war that's being pushed by Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yeah.
He's been trying to make this war happen for almost 30 years. This is a war that's being pushed by the Saudis, who have also wanted this war to happen. Two nations that are happy to watch American blood be expended on their behalf. This war is also being pushed because Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. And other people in the White House and other people connected with the Epstein class, they are terrified that we have noticed what they are doing. They're terrified that we're going to start wondering why the hell we let them stay in power.
There you go. All right. There you go, man. He's absolutely right. Let's take it back one more time.
This war is also being pushed because Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. And other people in the White House and other people connected with the Epstein class, they are terrified that we have noticed what they are doing. They're terrified that we're going to start wondering why the hell we let them stay in power.
There you go. And there you go, man. You know, just like Elder Malcolm likes to say, this isn't Operation Epic Fury. This is Operation Epstein. All right, this is World War Epstein. You see what I'm saying? But the thing that the people are starting to wake up to is the fact that it's all the same thing. All right, they're all in this. The left side, the Democrats are in this. the right side, the Republicans are in this. They all are on this. They're all in the same club. They all go to the same island. They all drink the same crimson juice from these children. And they are all trampling on the Constitution. Both sides. And the people are starting to realize this. All right, that this veil of confusion is coming apart, man. All right. Let me get this real quick. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 24, verse 10. It says, the city of confusion is broken down. When you go into that word for confusion, it goes into the word Babal. All right, Babal. So the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. And very soon, these people are going to demand, they're going to demand the change. This is where we get into 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, the 16th chapter. This is where it begins. All right? This is where it begins. As I was listening to Elder Malcolm and the rest of the Akim out there in Chicago holding camp, you know what I'm saying? He mentioned that with what happened with that retired U.S. Marine, that sergeant, what happened to him when he was standing up and exercising his First Amendment right in protest. All right, all the military branches, all the active servicemen who have seen this video are appalled at what they've seen, are disgusted at what they've seen. They've shown their military buddies. All right, they've shown their family members. This video that took place with that Marine went viral, man. Okay? And the whole world is seated. This is what's going to start, is going to spark this thing off. You know what I'm saying? Seditions among men. Let me get that real quick. Let's go to 2nd Esdras. Slocky. All right, come on now. Let me do this. Bear with me. All right, 2nd Esdras 15. Verse 15. 2nd Esdras 15 and 15 reads, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. You see what I'm saying? This conflict is going to spark so many things. All right. So many things all at once. We're already seeing oil prices increasing. That's going to increase the price of food. All right. We're seeing that happening. When we start to see that these other nations are losing their gas, they're losing their power. They're already jumping to Russia. All right. These NATO nations are already turning to Russia, asking them, begging them for some oil. You know what I'm saying? Because they see the writing that's on the wall, man. They know this thing's about to boil out of control. Out of control. The Strait of Hormuz is closed up. Only China is being allowed to go through. This is going to cause absolute chaos. If this is continued, if this is prolonged. Let's see another one. Bear with me. All right. It says this video says Israeli journalist Alon Mitzrayim tells us the truth that media is not telling us. All right. And before I hit this video, okay, I want to point out, like I said, the world is catching on to just how compromised Trump and the Congress truly are. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, that whole left-right paradigm, that's breaking down, man. That's breaking down. It's breaking apart. The veil of confusion is breaking down. Okay? They're no longer going to listen to their elected officials and whatnot, because they know they're all implicated in this debauchery that's held in secret. As a matter of fact, let me get this here. Let's go to Mark. All right. Mark chapter 4, verse 22. It reads, "For there is nothing hid which shall not be manifested, neither was anything kept secret, but that it should come abroad." You see? So the world can see that these individuals in every branch of government, I mean every branch of government, are compromised to some degree or another. You see what I'm saying? And it's not on one side, it's not on the other side, it's on both sides. You see? And this is not just the Trump administration. They're realizing this. It's not just the Trump administration. It was every administration. All right? Even going as far back to the Clinton administration. You see? We're talking decades and decades and decades, man. They're realizing that their constitution no longer stands. They're realizing that their moral high ground no longer exists. And these Americans have to watch as their government preaches about peace and democracy for the civilians of Iran, then goes and proceeds to intentionally bomb school buildings, killing the innocent children. No different of an atrocity, all right, or an atrocious strategy than what the Amalekites were using against Gaza. It's no different. You see what I'm saying? It's no different. So they're realizing that this whole thing is messed up. This whole thing is rigged, man. Anyway, let's listen to this journalist here. Let me set this up. Bear with me.
I'm going to explain what I mean. There is the real war that's going on the ground and in the air and at sea. And in this war, I'm going to say it plainly, Iran is fucking up the United States of America. And it is fucking up the United States of America so thoroughly, so extensively, so decisively, that the world is not ready to see and accept it yet, including many of us. But this is the military reality on the ground, and this is not just the freedom Ayatollah hyperventilating or being sensational. In 4 days, Iran has managed to expand its sphere of influence, its sphere of military domination, immensely. The US, Iran is pushed out of its borders into neighboring countries. It has destroyed the vastest and most precious military bases and assets and equipment in the whole world. American bases in Bahrain and Kuwait and Qatar and Saudi Arabia are some of the biggest military installations the US has anywhere on the planet. These are assets that it took trillions to build, not billions, trillions. Because I have to remind you, the US defense budget is almost $1 trillion a year. None of this was built in 1 year. This was built over many decades. This is a big part, a big chunk of American military expenditure for 30 years or more going up in smoke. This is what we're seeing now. We are seeing radars costing hundreds of millions of dollars a piece or $1 billion plus a piece being destroyed in an instant. We are seeing entire military bases being abandoned, burned, decimated, destroyed. And I'm telling you from my knowledge of American military history, and I'm not an expert, but I'm not a complete ignoramus as well. The US has never suffered such devastation in its entire history, except maybe Pearl Harbor. And this is one time, one day. No enemy in normal war has done to the US military what the Iranians are doing to the US military right now. Right now. This is beyond, we cannot believe it still. This defies belief. This defies belief. This is so bad, the situation, the military situation, this is the first war I'm describing. The military situation is so bad that censorship blocks practically every piece of new information about this war. And if you've noticed, we are being exposed to less and less every day. Every day. I mean, 35 years ago, during the first Iraq war, we were being shown endless footage from Iraq. The smart bombs and the cameras, they were a novelty back then. But every night almost, we were being shown night footage. I remember this because it was new and scary and exciting. Now we are almost seeing no video. I mean, understand this. This is supposedly the world's biggest military power, having the world's biggest air capabilities. And for 4 days, which are supposed to be the most brutal, this is when you build momentum. The US is on the offensive, supposedly. This is when they were supposed to break through Iranian defenses. And in 4 full days of this, we are seeing no signs of American domination over Iranian skies.
Yeah, it is. All right. So as you heard the journalist, this is absolutely devastating in every way possible. You know what I'm saying? When you think about how Esau is moving, okay, he's moving as if he's in the 20th century. He's not moving as if he's in the 21st century. You see what I'm saying? He's not doing that. All right, and this is why they're getting devastated on such a high scale for the world to see, because they believe that they're still on top. You know what I'm saying? That they can still continue on in these conventional means. All right, show and pump their chest. All right, and they forget the small nuances of war. Okay? They forget the small nuances of war, and I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you a glimpse of that. All right? But this is according to some reports, you know what I'm saying, some that's this commenting on these this video in particular. They're saying that this is the Abraham Lincoln. All right, this is the SS Abraham Lincoln. Now in the United States, they're telling you over here. They're telling the people that none of the warships were taken down. None of the warships were sunk. None of the warships were decommissioned, if you will. And yet here we have this. All right. So this is, this is humiliating on such a large scale. You know what I'm saying? Now, let me show you what's even more humiliating. Like I said, they're fighting a war, thinking that this is still the 20th century when it's not. And these people, these Iranian they're these Persians are very shrewd, they're very cunning. All right? And they're just taking them out by just small, small, somewhat childish means. All right? Let me show you. Bear with me. All right. So before I play this, fair use, fair use. All right. This is for educational purposes only. I'm not making any money from this. All right. So this is under the Copyright Act of 1976. Fair use, fair use. It says Iran bought millions of fake military equipment, fighter jets, air defense tanks, and fighter jets from China to trap American and Israeli forces. All right, these fools are actually targeting decoys. They're targeting these inflatable decoys, man. You know what I'm saying? They're also bombing. All right, they're also bombing paintings that these Iranians, like I said, they're shrewd, man. And very cunning. So they're painting on the floor. All right, pretty much silhouettes of tanks and aircraft. All right, and these people and these damn these devils are actually shooting at them and wasting millions of dollars worth of missiles. So let's just watch this, man, because this is pretty much child's play, but at the same time it's genius. Check it out. Incredible. Incredible. It's simple, but it's very effective. Very effective. This war is cost the U.S. taxpayer insurmountable amounts of money. You know what I'm saying? So this this is crazy, man. But the next step, as we've already seen, is boots on the ground. All right, because they know that they can't topple a government, they can't force regime change or anything like that unless there's boots on the ground. And as we've heard from Colonel Douglas McGregor, Lieutenant Colonel uh, Daniel Davis, um, former CIA analyst, was Larry, um, I forget his name, but different military analysts and different former high ranking personnel have all said the same thing, that if you put boots on the ground, it's going to be an absolute bloodbath. It's going to be devastating. You see what I'm saying? And there's no way out of that. There's no there's no happy ending to this. You know what I'm saying? Where Trump gets to sit there and declare victory. No, this is not going to happen the way it did in Iraq. It's not going to happen the way it did in Venezuela. It's not going to happen like that. And like we said, they're lying about all these numbers. They're lying about the numbers of casualties, man. This is more than just a handful. This brother right here, tells you straight nasty what's going on in Germany.
Anybody else hearing about the Landstuhl hospital in Germany that's had to shut down because they're bringing too many soldiers over that are injured and or KIA'd in action? Had to shut it down. What are we telling our people over here that we have 6 American soldiers that have been killed? They're lying. You need to tune out Western media from CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, all of it. Newspapers, New York Times, New York Post. You're going to get lied to. They're going to lie to you because they want to sell this war to the dupes in this country. They need to. They need the approval. This guy's going to keep doubling down. The orange clown that we have as president is going to keep doubling down. This was supposed to be like 2 days, and we were going to be in and out of there, probably in his little pea-brained head. Oh, guess what? We don't have a plan B, do we?
No, there is no plan B. You know what I'm saying? They went into this thing half cocked. They said, oh, we're just gonna go over there, we're gonna flex our muscles and all that stuff. And then during the negotiations, the Persians were not bucking. All right, they were not backing down. You know what I'm saying? All right, they were not getting scared. And according to the Axios news outlet, you know what I'm saying? Uh, what was his name? I think it was Mark Rubio. He was talking. He was saying how confused and how confounded that Trump was to hear that these Iranians have not capitulated. You see, with all the military presence in the region, all right, with the warships and everything in place off the coasts, they were surprised that the negotiators were not backing down, buckling on under the pressure, you know, to agree with this deal, which it wasn't a deal at all. Which we went over those terms that was being outlined, basically for them to get rid of all of their enriched uranium, to get rid of almost all of their ballistic missiles, and at least all of the ones that can reach Tel Aviv. And then you have the other point where they're supposed to stop funding or stop supporting proxy groups in the region. So basically, make themselves a wimp, and that didn't happen. You see what I'm saying? But that was their plan A, plan B, all the way to plan Z. You see what I'm saying? The next obvious point was to take out the Ayatollah, and they did that. But it's still not over. In fact, they just turned a little amber into a full blown raging wildfire. You see what I'm saying? And so now the military personnel are being flown over to Germany. All these troops, these casualties, they're being flown to Germany while they're lying to the American people, saying that there's only like only 6 people dead. Nah, man, they're flooding up other countries, other allied countries' hospitals. It's crazy, man. But this is what's going to cause the people to start to revolt against the government, man. Right? Let me show you that painting. That painting I was looking at real quick. All right? Look at that. That's a painting on the floor. All right? And with all of American and Israeli military analysts and intelligence, they were hitting decoys. They were hitting paintings on the floor. worth $10. Incredible. You see what I'm saying? Incredible. This is an absolute blunder. And the world is watching the humiliation of these Edomites, man. So let me show you one more video before I close this out. All right, bear with me.
The reason why Fort Bragg's 82nd Airborne Division had to cancel their exercise is because they're about to be deployed. We're talking about 4,000 to 5,000 soldiers that are ground soldiers that are starting to get deployment orders to go put boots on the ground. You know what? Let's go ahead and address this shit. There are other news outlets in other countries that's reporting we have over 560 soldiers, U.S. soldiers, that are dead. Yet our administration, our U.S. news is only reporting 6. And I saw some people saying that's because they have to send those casualty assistant officers out to notify the families of their soldiers. They're not going to do that. Because why the fuck would this administration tell you that they're fucking wrong? That what they did, they fucked up. Sending in these soldiers from Fort Bragg to put boots on the fucking ground is going to be a mass casualty to our U.S. military families. I hope y'all are fucking ready to go and help and support every single fucking soldier's family that's going to have to possibly lose their fucking soldier because of this incompetent ass administration. And when I say y'all, I mean all you bitches that fucking voted for these motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, man. MAGA is real quiet. MAGA is super quiet. These MAGAs are extremely quiet. They are as quiet as a mouse. As quiet as a mouse. Because everything that they said this guy was not going to do, he is doing just that. Everything they said he wasn't, he is. You see what I'm saying? They said, "Oh, he's not racist." He is. "Oh, he's not in those files." He is. He's not a PDF file. He is. You see what I'm saying? He wouldn't take our money. He cares about a billionaire cares about the little guy. Yeah, he took all the money. Now there's reports out that he took at least $100 billion. $100 billion from the United States taxpayer. And he gave it to his friends. He gave it to his family. He enriched himself. You know what I'm saying? It's just an absolute travesty. You know what I'm saying? And these MAGAs are having to eat their words, man. You see what I'm saying? Which I don't care either way. Because either it had been Trump or Kamala, the same outcome would have been here. It would have taken place. The same outcome. This is what people don't understand. There is no difference between the left and the right, man. These are the two horns like a lamb, you know what I'm saying, that has been used to cause the division. You see? Let me show you a couple more images and I'll close this out, man. Bear with me. All right. Iran's parliament speaker says if the war continues like this, there will be no way left to sell oil, nor any capacity to produce it. I just saw at least 2 videos that showing that Israel and the U.S. have attacked Iranian oil refineries. Okay. The Straits of Hormuz is closed. All types. This is going to be an absolute chaotic situation. You know what I'm saying? And all these neighboring countries in West Asia are pissed off, man. Pissed off. In days, Qatar, what was it? The UAE. All right. In days, these countries are gonna run out of water. All right, because they're taking out the desalination plants. You know what I'm saying? They're taking those out. They're gonna run out of clean water. They're gonna run out of food because all the food and stuff comes through the strait. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna be chaos. It's gonna be chaos, man. All right. Irene Montero says Spain must leave NATO now, calling Donald Trump and Israel the principal threats to the security and stability of humanity. She also went out and said, "Hey, man, you should send your son Barron Trump to go and fight this war." You see, so everybody's calling these devils out, man. Everyone's calling them out. Israel calls on Australia to join the Middle East war. Okay. So nobody wants to be tied in with these devils, man. Nobody wants to do this because it's a trap. It's a trap. And now you got high-ranking officials in the U.S. military telling the soldiers that this is all going to it's all needed to bring back so-called Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? Which there's truth to that. There's truth to that statement. All right, this will bring back Yahweh Shai, man, because Yahweh Shai, according to prophecy, comes back during World War III, pursuant to 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter. You see what I'm saying? So they're not wrong in that. But the point is that this lowers the morale of your military. You see what I'm saying? You see, unlike these Persians, all right, Babylon is not rooted in faith. Babylon ain't rooted in faith, man. Say what you will about these jokers over in the so-called Middle East. You can say what you will about them. You know what I'm saying? But they're rooted in faith. They're rooted in faith. You see? They're rooted in faith. This is a sinful nation, a godless nation. You see? So send your sons and your daughters into this war. You know what I'm saying? There's no clear objective. There's no more high ground. There's nothing. There's nothing. This is gonna be terrible, man. Terrible. Right? More lies. The White House posts video mixing real Iran strikes with Call of Duty footage. And the backlash is brutal. And it's not the first time that they've used footage from a Call of Duty video game to push a narrative. It's not the first time. It's not the first time. I think they did the same thing. I'm trying to remember the last time they did that. I think it was when it was going into Afghanistan. I'm trying to remember when they used this the last time that I can think of, because I remember I'm a big Call of Duty fan myself, and I remember when they did that shit, and I was like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? But the point being is that they lie. All right, they lie, and they lie a lot. You see what I'm saying? But they're not selling this war. They're just not doing it. They're not selling this war. You know what I'm saying? Since breaking, Iran responds to Trump's unconditional surrender demand. The caucasity, as they say. He says Iran will not be controlled by the Epstein gang. And that's what it is, man. That's what it is. So, hey, I'm going to cut that there. I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. This has been your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. In closing, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Ruchak Wadash, Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.